it possible to learn multiple languages at the same time? Well, in my opinion, yes, but it's very different to learning just one. You need a different strategy and a different mindset. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I do it. I'm going to give you tips, my study methods. So if you are interested, make sure to keep on watching and subscribe for more language learning tips. Let's go. First of all, I like to assign a different role to each language. For example, my main priority language, my maintenance language, my language that is just for fun. Right now I'm studying 4 languages: Persian, Russian, Spanish and Uzbek, and I assigned each one a different role. So Persian is right now my main priority. I am currently doing a 6-month Persian challenge. And Russian, I have like a good B1, B1 plus level. I don't study it as often and my study sessions are not as intense. I usually just listen to something or watch something in Russian to gain new vocab and just get exposure to the language. Same with Spanish. I don't even have a textbook for Spanish. I just like to surround myself with the language from time to time. And then Uzbek is my language that is just for fun. I'm not aiming for fluency anytime soon. And yeah, I'm just learning it because Uzbekistan is one of my favorite countries that I've ever been to, and I thought it could be fun to learn the language a little bit, but absolutely no pressure. I think when you assign each language a different role, it keeps you from getting overwhelmed. You don't have to think which language you should study first, because you already know which language is your main priority, and it also keeps your expectations realistic. The next thing I like to do is set different goals for each language. And they don't have to be huge, hard goals. They can be small, something like, I want to have a conversation in that language. I want to be able to understand my favorite song in that language. I want to be able to read a short story, something like that. Nothing huge. I think it really works because it keeps you motivated. You know why you are learning that language, and you also know what progress looks like, so you can kind of measure it, and that's always really fun. The third thing that I want to talk about, and some people might disagree, but personally I would say don't pressure yourself to study every single one of your languages every day. If you're studying multiple languages at the same time, let's say 2, 3, 4, maybe even more, then it can be really challenging to find the time every single day to study all of them, and especially to study them and actually stay focused and learn something, because life is hectic. Personally, I don't study every day. Even right now, as I'm doing my 6-month Persian challenge where I want to go from 0 to B2 in 6 months, it's just not realistic for me to study every day. I get burned out and it's just not fun. I like to take breaks, and I promise you, if you take a break for a few days or even a week, you are not going to lose your progress. It might actually give your brain the time to rest and refresh itself, and when you come back, you're going to be more energized and just more ready to learn something. And also, letting your brain forget some of the things that you learned is a great way of revising stuff. Like trying to remember something that you kind of forgot is one of my favorite method for learning a new language. I also think the order in which you study your languages is very important. Let's say that you do want to study all your languages in the same day. I would suggest starting with your top priority language, preferably in the morning or when you feel the most energized, because if it's your main priority, then you want to be focused and you want to remember everything, and it's just going to be easier when you have more energy. And then as the day goes by, you can study your other languages that are less urgent. And it also works if you are a beginner in one of your languages, then I would suggest studying that language first. And then for your maintenance languages, you can just watch something or listen to something later on in the day. It doesn't really require that much energy, or at least a lot less than actually focusing on something and trying to remember new vocab or trying to understand a new grammar rules. So yeah, my advice is start with your top priority language, and then if you still have the time or the energy, then move on to your other languages. Another thing I want to say is that your priorities can of course change, and that is completely normal. I personally really like to travel, so let's say that I decided last minute that I wanted to go on a trip to Central Asia where Russian is spoken. So obviously Russian would then become my main priority, and I would kind of put Persian to the side and focus on Russian for the time being, and that is completely fine. Lastly, I want to suggest using different methods for each language. It keeps things fun and it creates variety, which is super important. So for Persian, I use a textbook. For Russian and Spanish, I primarily watch movies, listen to podcasts, just immerse myself in the language. and I use an app for Uzbek. This is totally up to you. There are so many language learning resources out there, so I'm sure you'll find something that works for you. Alright, that's it for today's video. I really hope you found it helpful. If you are learning multiple languages at the same time, definitely let me know in the comments. And if you use any other strategies, then also let me know. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!